this is Harpy Stitch. I'm Amy. Welcome to my Flosstube, a channel about cross stitch. We are filming on July 10th today. I realized that last episode I tried to pretend I wasn't nervous as all get out, and I was. So I'm just going to own it, just like all new Flosstubers, and say I'm not quite comfortable talking to the camera yet. I also forgot to tell you where I am stitching from, and I am in central Minnesota. So I am super excited today because I actually have two fully finished objects, which I don't have very often. So first thing I'm going to do is share those with you. This is for my youngest nephew. This design is by, let's see, I can't remember the name. Cross Stitch Style Arts. It's on 14 count Aida with blue snowflakes by Fabric Flare. This is Stitch, and I found this really great fabric on eBay because I couldn't find anything in the store that I liked to back it. So I used that, and then usually on the inside I back with plain boring fabric, but since I had enough, the inside lining is also the stitch fabric. And I took some ribbon from the craft store and I made the hanger instead of using thread from the design this time. My other fully finished object was a start and finish. I started it on June 25th and finished it on June 27th. It is the Trans Zebra from the Pride Charity Bundle by Stitchy Wren. And here he is. I finished him as a button using my button machine. All right. Ooh, bonus fiber. So now I am going to show you some starts that I started since my last video. Some of you have probably already seen these if you are following me on Instagram. The first one is the Dead Outlaw Female, which I started for Stitch for Sage to help her out since she's struggling with some health issues and could use that support. This is on Pecan by Fabric Flare. It's printed. It's 14 count. I started it on June 25th. I'm doing it 2/1. She's based on Annie Oakley. I am using mostly the called for threads. I did make a couple of changes. On her dress, I'm using a coppery metallic thread from DMC for the decorative pieces instead of the tan. And then on the metal parts of the gun, I'm using a toile to give it a little bit of shimmer to make it feel more like metal. I am going to, when I finish this one, make the partner Dead Outlaw so that my husband and I can have a match set. My next new start is the Kingdoms of Life Sal by Stitchonomy. It is a free Sal. The third part just came out today. I am doing this 2/1 on 14 count Aida. It's one of the DMCs I got at the craft store. It's blue and green. And I started this on July 4th. And I've only started a little bit on some of the bacteria. This is my new start on this Shawshank Redemption sampler. I've done several of these. I think I started it on July 4th as well. I will be doing more than one of these. I'm trying to decide if I should show my progress every time I do one or just this time. If you have a preference, please let me know in the comments below. I almost forgot. It is on 11 count Ivory Aida, and my husband will insert what it should look like. My next new start, and this I was insane this last week, I decided to start all of the things that I had kitted up. So I did 7 new starts on the 5th. I don't know what I was thinking, but I just got a bug up my butt and I just had to do it. And one of the things that I started was the Cape Honeybee by Marroomy Designs. It was part of the Pride bundle, charity bundle for Pride Month. It is on 22 count white Laguna, I think. And it will be a gift for my child who identifies as non-binary. And I am going to get a box to put it in for keepsake box to mount it in. The next thing, one of the other things that I started on the 5th was the Yule Pentacle. It is a gift for my son-in-law. It is on 28 count, very smoky white casual linen. It is 1/1. I'm trying to fit it into a 4-inch hoop to frame it in when it is all done. It makes the half stitches really tricky, and I have to count very, very carefully, but I think it will be beautiful when it is finished. Another one of my starts is a free stitch along from Stitchonomy again. So many cute stitch alongs, and her stitch alongs are always free. This is a storybook Halloween. You can see I got a huge start on it. It is on Oatmeal Ada, 14 count, and instead of doing plain 310, I'm going to use a toile for the border. And I'm doing 2/1. All right, so my next start that I did on July 5th is the Overlook Stitch Along it was designed by Robin Allen. You can find the pattern. They just posted the full pattern with all the rooms already in it on the Kingverse X Stitch page on Facebook. I will put that down below. I have a teeny tiny start. I am probably going to have to add some backstitch, even though that's not called for in the pattern, just because the outside of the overlook is so close to the fabric I chose, but the fabric has just the right vibe. It is 32 count Belfast Stormy Clouds. I am so far using the called for. I might do a little tweaking with some of the rooms and some of the colors, depending on what I like. For, the blood and such. Might use some toile or something like that to give it a little bit of spice. All right, so my next new start also gave me a partial finish. I am making a space theme welcome sign for my library. I previously made one that had different pets, and I used that all last year because it was the only one I had, but I thought it would be really nice to change them out. I got this pattern from the World of Cross Stitch magazine. It was one of their alphabets, and it uses glow-in-the-dark thread in the windows. I can't tell you the count on this because it's some banner fabric from the craft store, and so it doesn't have a count. I will do the whole word welcome, and I might take the I from the alphabet and change it into an exclamation point just to give me an even number of letters to hang, so everything will come out more even. It is 2/2. All right, so now we are going to move on to whips. Now it's time to move on to whips. My first whip that I want to share with you is my Goth Temperature Stitch Along. I am now over halfway. We've reached the halfway point in the year, and I'm less than half of the year is left. So when I finish all the books, I will start on the back stitching, everybody's favorite part. This I started on January 6th of this year. I'm doing it 2/2. This is from gothstitch.com. It is on Picture This Plus French Lilac 28 count. So I think it is turning out beautifully. They gave us a bonus book at the end of June, so it's not in the temperature colors. It's just there to look nice. All right, my next whip is Dancing in the Moonlight by Praiseworthy Stitches. It is also on Picture This Plus Mystic in 36 count, and I started this on May 29th. But I haven't gotten much done on it once I started all the other projects on the 5th. I am really liking it. I'm still experimenting and trying to figure out the best way to use variegated. It was recommended me to do 1x at a time when I usually do all the way across and back. But I still think it looks very stripy and more liney than I would like it to look. So I'll have to play around maybe with some new ways to do it. But I don't want to change how I'm doing it in the middle of the project because then everything will look mismatched. So if you have any suggestions on variegated thread so you get the nice variegation without the super stripy lines, please let me know. All right, my next whip is the Wisdom Stocking from Heaven and Earth Designs. I started this on March 1st of this year. It is on 25 count white Lugana because since it will be full coverage, there's no point in doing fancy fabric. It was charted by Michelle Sayeda, I think, and it is art by Cherry Gerhardt. Again, didn't get much done because I started 7 other projects. So, but I think it is looking nice and it is going to be gorgeous. So before I go on to my plans and haul, I want to thank everybody who watched my first Flosstube. And for those of you that liked or subscribed, if you have any suggestions for ways that I can improve, things that you'd like to see, please let me know. I'm new to this and my husband and I are both learning. And so I'm hoping that maybe it'll get a little smoother and we can have a little bit more fun as I get less nervous. For my plans, since I started all of those whips and new starts on the same day, I decided to go ahead and use Tiny Decisions apps like many Flosstubers do to help me figure out which project I'm going to work on that day and randomize it a little bit. I have worked on Dancing in Moonlight, the Wisdom Stocking, Cape Honeybee, and the Shawshank Redemption sampler since I started that using that app. So I have it on my phone here, as most people do, and I put it in dark mode. Go. So I put everything but the Goth's Temp stitch along on here because of the fact that I do the books pretty much every day or every couple of days. So let's pick what I work on tomorrow. And the winner is Dead Outlaw Female. And I will just replace, when she's done, I'll just replace her with the actual Dead Outlaw. All right, so I have had an unusual amount of haul. I don't usually buy a lot. I don't have a cross stitch budget. I just have to kind of get things as I can afford them. I am very envious of all of you who are in all the Fibers of the Month Club and the box clubs and the Fabric of the Month clubs. And I really wish I could do that. I love my cross stitch magazine subscription, and that's about pushing the limit of my budget a lot of times, because that for a whole year is what some of you guys pay for your Fibers of the Month or your Fabrics of the Month. And I wish I could do that every month, but I can't. But I do enjoy my magazines, so it works. The haul that I did get, one of the things that I got, which I think my husband showed you a tiny piece of in the last video, was my Pecan Fabric Flare fabric. I got a 35 by 36 inch piece. And this is the piece that I cut for the Outlaw to give you a better view of what it looks like without anything on it. And I'm really looking forward to having these done and framed. So one of the things that I picked up was I pre-ordered the Halloween, Just Cross Stitch Halloween edition for this year. And I picked it up at my L&S, and I'm so excited. There's some designs in here that I'm really excited about. There is this one. I think this will go fabulously on my Haunted fabric. I have a couple of other possible designs too, but I think that it'll really pop on the dark fabric. How cute is this little Dracula cat? I mean, oh my goodness, so adorable. And look at these little ghosts in the purple house. So cute. And a witch's hat pincushion. So excited about this one too. Then there is this little bat ornament, but I thought that might make a really cool biscogne, which isn't biscogne just a fancy word for pincushion? Seems to be what they are. So, oh, and also the little cat that looks so pissed off. He cracks me up. I love Angry Kitty. And in addition to getting that the day after I picked that up from my LNS, actually, my next issue of my cross stitch magazine came in the mail. It was a really good day for the mail. So it came with this little bookmark kit to make a lighthouse bookmark. So super cute because I also love to read. And then there are the cool designs. I think the one I was most looking forward to is the Peter Pan design. And I can show the whole page. Now, I would like to do some really fun, funky fabric, and I'm trying to decide. I don't know if I want to do them in the colors. I think I might change up the colors because I'm sorry, but Tinkerbell should be green. I mean, classic Disney Tinkerbell, green. And the other thing that I thought was really cool in here is this black work shark. Sharks are just awesome. And we have a wooden shark in our bathroom along with a Kraken shower curtain. So he would fit right in. So those are those two things that I got. So 2 new magazines with tons of things that I'd like to stitch. Now, I have joined many stitch alongs, but I have never paid for a stitch along before. So I could not resist because I'm pretty sure it's going to be really cool moths or butterflies. I saw that Nocti Flora Designs had a rare horror flies stitch along, and it's a mystery stitch along. So I have no idea what's actually going to be in it, but it sounds like really cool, creepy moths and butterfly kind of stuff. So I was all in. And so I bought this, and I'm very excited. The frame will be out next month. I'm hoping I have time to get the frame done before school starts so that then I can keep up, because I've never kept up with a stitch along because I usually join at the end of them when I find them or when they're all done. But you know what? If I love it and I want to stitch it, doesn't matter if I finish it on time or not. I splurged one last time for the summer vacation to get the special fabric that was made just for the stitch along. And they said it would be here on the 19th to the 24th. It arrived today before I started filming, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to stitch on this. It is so cool looking.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Isn't that cool? It's called Deadly Blooms. It is by Witch Garden Designs, or Witch's Garden Crafts. I could not believe how fast it got here. I'm very excited. They also sent me a little piece of sample fabric and a needle threader. The package was damaged a little bit in the mail. The fabric was fine, but I think there was a little blobby cute thing on the needle threader. It's not there, but that's okay because that was a free unexpected surprise anyway. I did let them know that it got damaged just so they could, reach out to the post office if they needed to. But I am so excited. I cannot wait. It looks so awesome. And I got to check the count because I don't remember. It is 18 count, hand dyed, and I'm really looking forward to stitching on it. So, finished projects, which I hardly ever have fully finished items. Ton new starts. Still, and now a dozen whips, it feels like, which I'm intimidated and excited by. Some really cool new fabric to play with. Join some new Facebook groups so I could be a part of the discussion on the SAL. I want to talk about some of the Flosstubers I've been watching. As I said, I'm still really new to Flosstube. I've been getting caught up, and I don't know if it's just me, but when I find a new Flosstuber, I go back and I want to start at the beginning and watch everything they did, which is really silly because some people have 240 videos. I'm never going to get through them all and see all the new people. I don't have the time, but it's still really fun to just see their progress and see all the different kind of things that they work on. And I keep adding. I was going to ask for recommendations, but I already have over 100 subscriptions because I keep taking people's suggestions in their Flosstube videos. So I think I need to just browse a little bit more instead of trying to marathon through one person the whole time. Although there's a few people I have watched all of the videos. Most of them new Flosstubers because they don't have a ton. But some of the people I've really been enjoying watching. One is Johnnie Saxon. He likes to stitch pretty ladies. He does stitches with me and does kind of gothy Halloween stuff, which is completely up my alley. And I've watched all of his videos, and he is super entertaining. Marroomy Crafts, who designed the Cape Honeybee for the Pride Bundle. I've watched all of hers. It's really interesting because she is designing things based around her culture. So she's doing her own designs that are based in Iranian embroidery and blankets and different motifs that they do in their traditional culture. And it's really interesting. She gives you the backstories. She's also super kind. She is so supportive of other people. She gives suggestions on changing colors, which is something I am not as daring at, but I think it's partly because I tend to do more pictures rather than samplers. So, there's colors that they picked and they look good and I like the picture. So I tend to make it the picture as they made it because that's why I started stitching it, because I like the way they did it. But it's really encouraging me to try new things and be a little bit more daring with colors and fabrics and maybe try a few samplers, though that's not my norm. And Stitched by Liz is another person I've been watching. Her husband edits her videos for her as well. He tends to make funny comments. She does a wide variety of designs, a lot of nerdy Disney kind of stuff. Lots of full coverage, which I love full coverage. That's my preference. Although right now I don't have that many. So those are some of the Flosstubers I've been watching. I will link them below. Please check them out. They are awesome. And I'm going to probably do 3 Flosstubers every video, maybe a few less during the school year because I'll have less time to watch Flosstube. And I also thought I would add a new segment. Since I'm a librarian and my job is to help people find books that they might love, I thought I would include a book recommendation at the end of my videos. I thought I'd do one for adults and then one for children's and YA. My adult recommendation is kind of on theme with one of my whips right now, is Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption by Stephen King. It was originally part of the Different Seasons story collection. And if you are not into horror, don't worry. This is not really a horror story. It is a short story. It is a historical drama. There's some great character development. It really gets you into the time that the story is set. And if you haven't seen the movie, I really recommend it. It is one of the best movies, and they did a great job of adapting it to screen. And if you have seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, that is a Stephen King story, and they took it almost word from word from the short story. So if you like the movie, please check out the book. And my children's book recommendation today is May Among the Stars. It is by Rhoda Ahmed. It is a biography based on the life of Mae Jemison, the first African-American woman in space. I actually got to meet her once. She was the keynote speaker at a teachers conference down in Texas. I really just got to walk by and shake her hand and move on because she was saying hi to everybody, but it was amazing. She was the first astronaut I had ever met, and gave a great talk. It is a beautifully illustrated book, and it's really easily accessible. It is really fun to read. I hope you stuck around till the end. I appreciate you stopping and spending some time with me. If you would like, please comment, like, subscribe. Feel free to ask me any questions. Please share my video. If I said, I have tons of people that I'm watching, but if you have any recommendations for other Flosstubers, please share them with me. I am always eager to learn and meet new people and see all the cool things that people are doing. Thanks.